Welcome back to Your 2 Cents for today. I am so glad you are back. If you are a viewer and a subscriber, welcome back, family. I hope you have enjoyed the past features, the past episodes, going over life, going over talent, over skills. If you are new to the show, I hope you enjoy it. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment below if you have any opinion or any thoughts of what we should do next. So, 2020 has definitely been a crazy ride, right? We're nearing the end of 2020. As this episode is being recorded, it's mid-November, and it's definitely been a year of unexpected events. We've had so many things between politics and social injustice and the pandemic and the recession that a lot of people have experienced so many losses and so many gains. And I think if this year has taught anything, it would definitely be that there are no rules. I think everyone had a plan, everyone had an order, or if they didn't have a plan, they knew in general what they were going to do. And I think that the events that happened this year definitely made some major changes to that. It definitely affected my businesses, all of them. It affected my 9 to 5. It affected corporate America. It affected the market. It affected my trades. It affected my money. It affected everything. And I realized quickly that I had to adjust very fast. I realized quickly that I had to be adaptable in order to win. And I think that being adaptable, being able to adapt into any circumstances is what really is the biggest lesson I learned this year. I learned and I realized that I can't plan every aspect of my journey. I can't really plan my goal. There are things that come my way, like international pandemics and recessions that I never could ever dream of. And I think it's just better to be light on my feet, quick with my thoughts, quick with my plans, and be able to understand that there are 1,000 ways to do things, there are 1,000 ways to get to my goals, and I need to take full advantage to each and every one of them. So yeah, this episode is definitely about adapting and release. I understood that as hard as it was, I needed to release everything that I was holding on to, every excuse I was holding on to. I think people use 2020 as an excuse more than anything. And I learned that any loss is an opportunity. I can lose nothing. I can only gain everything. And I had to change my mindset and have that mindset shift. Have that $1 million mastermind shift of understanding that for me to only focus on what I've lost is for me to be distracted. For me to only consider the social injustice that's going on, the police brutality, is for me to be distracted. For me to only focus on the sickness and the deaths of over 250,000 people in America is for me to get distracted. I cannot focus on that. I can only understand and acknowledge, but I know I have to focus on what I need to focus on to feed my family. Because no matter what, pandemic or no pandemic, my family has to get fed. Pandemic or no pandemic, I have to make money. Pandemic or no pandemic, I have to create that legacy. I have to make sure that I provide for everyone around me. The pandemic did not change anything that I needed in this life. It only changed how I had to get it. And so I do believe that as rough as this year has been, it's definitely been a learning experience more than anything, for sure. I know so many people who have lost so much, who have lost family members, who have lost relationships, who have lost money, who have lost jobs, who have lost opportunities, and I know so many people who have lost so much but still have everything to gain. And so I do believe that this year was a year of refocus. This year was a year of clarity. This year is a year where we realized what our environment really was. I think this year we had to face ourselves more than we have ever had to face ourselves at all, ever. I think we've had to be around ourselves. We had to face loneliness. I think so many people have had to face loneliness and being alone and falling in love with being alone. And it's probably the biggest battle that anyone has ever had to consider. I think people have had to battle not having as much as they used to have. I think people have had to battle so much, and I think it's important to understand that if you are still here, you've won. If you are still here, you've won. There's 250,000 people who don't get to say that from the pandemic alone. Let's not consider the deaths of natural causes, of car accidents, of the flu, of other sicknesses, of seizures, of mental illnesses. So many people did not make it to this day. And so if you are still here, you've won. If you still here, then whatever demon you are facing, whatever skeleton in your closet, whatever loss you've had has not taken over you. And I think it's so important to make that mind shift of focusing on the fact that you are here and you are in the now. And at this moment right here, it is do or die. And a lot of people didn't get to make that decision. A lot of people have passed away. And so you have to make that decision, and I encourage you to make it quick, that it's either win or lose. It really is. It's either win or lose, family. And I won't go out sad. I promise you I won't go out sad. I won't go out losing anything. I only have everything to gain. You all only have everything to gain. And if we focus on what we had to leave behind, then we can never move forward. I need y'all this year to make sure that everything you've lost, you've left it in this year. That those feelings of fear, those insecurities, those focusing on excuse, well, I lost my job, that's why I can't do this, or I don't have the money for this, leave it in 2020. Because it has no reason to be in 2021. And I need, and I hope, and I pray that your focus is not on the negativity, is not on everything you've had to sacrifice 2020. I pray it's on 2021. I pray it's on the fact that you have less than 30 days to make something shake. You have less than 30 days to make 2020 work for you. You have less than 30 days to look at 2020 and say, yeah, it tried to make me my bitch, but I made it mine, period. And so I really, really hope that y'all stick it out, family. I really hope that y'all stick it out. I know so many people who have been through so much, and I know battles that I can never understand, and I really, really pray. I pray that y'all find recovery eternally and externally. I pray that you find what you're looking for. I pray that you understand what you need and not just what you want. I pray that 2020 gave you the clarity of what is unnecessary and what is necessary, what's a priority and what's a responsibility, and what you have to do to make things work for you. Because 2020 is the last year of excuses. I promise you, family. 2020 is the last year of excuses. Look, you had every excuse in the book this year. You had every excuse in the book this year. You don't have no more excuses 2021. So my 2 cents for today is to release everything this year. Release anger, release loss, release fear, release insecurity, release anything that makes no use to you, and be sure to understand that you can adjust and adapt to anything. There are no rules, family. You can do anything you plan to do. In any way you plan to do it. There are 1,000 ways to get to one destination. You just have to choose one. I hope you learned something in this episode. I hope you learned something 2020. I hope you release anything that doesn't help you. And I hope that you gained everything. See you next episode.